Hi everyone, and welcome back. So thank you for taking the time to check out the video. My name's Drilo44, and today I'm going to be talking a little bit about the Shadow Royale. A few things that you may or may not know about it, kind of a few other little details that just surprised me, and of course some footage as you can see in the background as regards to the game mode. I will be streaming actually tonight as well, so Saturday the 24th of October at 10 o'clock UK time, so probably work that out if depending on what country, but all those good things. If you want to stop by, that would be amazing, because we will play some trios, duos, and of course some Shadow Royale as well. But yeah, let's get into the video. So before I do remember to never stop moving, never stop believing, and stay Apex. Right, well, let's get into the content. Okay, so a first few things then. So as regards to the Shadow Royale, so of course there will be some of you that may or may not know that this is a mode that was actually taken from last year's Royale game, which of course was in Apex Legends. Now it was called Shadowfall. It did have some differences. The game mode really consisted of squad members working together once you got to the last 10, and it was kind of like a solo mode rather than a actual like team mode. You all ran around with these little sort of like shadow creatures. Once you were killed, you didn't get the shadow prowlers, and of course there was little things like that that made such a difference. Now it was quite a fun mode, you know, depending on what you kind of liked, but they kind of revamped it, I think, and yeah, all those things. Now I will say that in the darkness, for some reason, it is really hard to see where people are. Unfortunately, this is one of the ones where I couldn't even see what was going on half the time, and yeah, I got shot quite a lot and ended up being a shadow creature, which is something that I hadn't had that much, so hey, I guess it's a good thing. But regarding with the shadow creatures, so the shadow creatures can actually double jump, which is something that Octane's jump pad allows you to do, but it's not the same kind of double jump. It's kind of more of a, like, I don't know, like a jump, but it doesn't consist of like a higher jump, really. It just covers maybe a little bit more ground. It's alright. I mean, it's not amazing, but it's okay. But also as well, you get infinite wall climbs, which is really, really cool. It means you can climb up to higher places. I did try and climb up a pole in Thunderdome. Unfortunately, I didn't manage to do that, but hey. And also, of course, ironically, they did bring back Thunderdome and Skulltown from the After Dark event, or from previous. This is all from kind of around Season 2 Battle Charge, if I remember. So if you never played back in those seasons, this is what the map used to look like. You used to have places like cascades and wetlands, and places that you don't see anymore because they were taken away from the map. Some of the places still remain, and have been there ever since, but some of them were taken away. And of course, you may not know that. If you didn't and you never played that particular game at that time, then of course it's well worth you know, taking a look and seeing out the maps. We had actual Leviathans in Season 2 Battle Charge, and the flyers in the cages and on, you know, flying around with the loot boxes, and that was something that actually was around as well. So as you can sort of see, I mean, you can sort of basically do lots of damage with the shadow creatures. You can jump around, you can move extremely fast. Actually is a kind of like Titanfall speed, probably, maybe a little bit, not quite as fast, but I think Titanfall was probably moved a little slower. Unfortunately, you know, it was very easy to also be one-shot as a shadow creature because you have no health, and you do get a shadow prowler if you need it as well, which I think is really cool. Yes, it is an AI-related sort of like thing, but I think it is really cool. Now the funny thing is that not a lot of my friends really like this mode. So JHD and Viper, they both didn't like this mode. Now I don't know why. Maybe I can understand for JHD, actually. I'm not sure about why Viper didn't like it, but I think it's just because it's too dark and it's extremely hard to see. And I have to agree with that. I got killed a lot of times as a shadow creature, but simply because I could not see any of the enemies, and I ran into like what I thought they were, and they were camping up in a corner, and I couldn't see them. Now the respawn, it takes longer and longer the more times you die, so it takes longer, and of course as long as there is a surviving member of the team, you stay alive. But once that surviving member's dead, of course you get wiped out. The team is eliminated, which is kind of a bit annoying, but I can see why. It's one of those things. You can ping, you can open loot bins, you cannot actually open doors, but you can smash them down, and you can infinitely climb anything. Now you can see me trying to climb this. I wanted to know if I could climb this, and unfortunately I failed miserably. I should have just gone up the zip line. I wanted to see if I could take them by surprise because they couldn't hear me, but for some reason I just couldn't do it, so I just went up the zip line in the end. And for my troubles, I got shot by a camping lifeline that I couldn't see in the darkness. Yes, the little indicator comes up, but I'm used to think that those arrows used to be bigger, and yeah, they managed to kill me. But of course, you know, being a shadow creature, 12 seconds or so later, I can respawn and do it all over again. Such fun. But one thing that's major that you may not know about the game then. So, in the old Shadowfall mode, what they did is that they actually had it where kills counted. So if you killed either a shadow creature or a legend, you got it added to your kill tracker and to the character that you were using at the time. But in this one, unfortunately, they don't. Now, there are a couple of reasons for that. I mean, like, in the first one that they brought out, Shadowfall last year, ironically, they actually had it where, you know, kills kind of counted, and people were able to get the 20 kill badge, the 4k damage badge, all these things, without actually really earning them truthfully, but just by shooting a lot of shadows and real legends during the game. And of course, I mean, they did eventually patch it, but this time they seem to want to cancel that out completely. So your kill death ratio will not be affected at all by this game mode. And yes, that Revenant just hit me. I didn't even know he was there. Awesome. But you know, it basically means that you get a bit of a free running. So if you are a player that maybe isn't so fantastic at the game, you want to practice, yeah, I know it's in darkness and I know you've got shadow creatures, it's not the easiest way, but if you wanted to practice gunplay and kind of not have any way of being penalized, you can play this mode without any ill effects at all. The sad reason and sad thing is that, of course, in regards to kills that you get, even on actual legends, so understandably, I understand it when it comes to actually the shadow creatures, it makes a lot of sense. But what I don't like, and I really kind of can't get my head around it, is that if you kill a legend as a normal legend, you don't get a kill for that either. And unfortunately, I got punched out by that damn Revenant again. He was a right pain. But, you know, it does mean that, unfortunately, none of your kill trackers, none of your things get improved on, and, of course, it just ends up being just a free, fun game mode that you can play and can go from there. And, oh, look, Mirage getting killed again. Never seen that before in any trailer. Yeah. So, I mean, obviously, these are things that maybe people won't know necessarily with the game. The kill tracker is probably why JHD didn't like the game mode, personally. And I think for Viper, because he couldn't see. Personally, I actually didn't mind this. I mean, okay, am I going to grind for the badges? To be honest, no. I feel like this was a game mode that, although is really cool, it came out very, very quickly from the other one, from the aftermarket, and actually it is a shorter game mode. Ironically, it came out on the 22nd of October. It is literally a week and 4 days, or a week and 5 days, depending on when it came out. So it is a much shorter mode, so you're only going to get this for a very short time. They didn't do it for the normal 2 weeks, or 3 weeks, or whatever it is. Now, you know, again, it's one of those things where you think to yourself, okay, well, you know, we can deal with that. You know, it's a mode that we've got a choice to play. You have got a gold knockdown shield as well. Now, again, I imagine that any of you who have played that mode will know that particular one. And an interesting fact as well is that this was taken actually from Fortnite, something you might not know. It was actually, they did a mode as well that has a very similar concept. Now, it's not exactly the same because, you know, copying directly isn't always the thing, but they definitely took it from a mode that Fortnite did, and that was around about 3 years ago. So this one is not original or an original idea. But, you know, I do think that Apex is an amazing game. I love the movement, the speed. You can see the little shadow prowler there, which is a really nice idea. And apparently, also something you might not know is you can also name it somewhere. I'm not quite sure how to do that. I haven't looked into it enough. But apparently you can actually give it a name for every time it comes up as well. So little things like that are pretty cool. Little touches and stuff as well. Now, it isn't a completely new mode. It isn't something that's completely different. But, you know, for those who like to sort of like have that Halloween theme, have a bit of fun, not worry about their kill-death ratio, learn maybe weapons they don't use so often, new tricks, new tactics, all those good things, you can do this without any kind of way of being penalized. I mean, I know not everyone's worried about their kill-death, but hey, you know, for those who are, it's a really good way of kind of just having a play about, jumping around, having some fun as the Shadow Legend as well, and just kind of having a bit of entertainment for a change. Now, we'll see that actually ironically on my stream tonight. Like I say, I'm not going to think that I'm any expert at the game. I've said this many times before, but I do like to enjoy it and have fun and kind of, be entertained by these new game modes. I do think that they brought it out a bit too quick. I think that's probably about the only thing that I could really add to it in regards to the mode. I think that they actually added it just a little bit fast, and of course that was a bit of a shame. But probably only because of those that played Flashpoint and of course were burnt out for playing a lot of that. Lifeline is still going to be very, very strong in this particular game mode if you're looking to actually grind for the badges and get the wins. 5 wins you need, kill some enemies, deal some damage, or revive teammates as a shadow thingy. So I mean, little things like that is kind of just, again, some challenges for some badges. If you are checking them out, then do that. And there are some free stuff as well. So again, there's some free stuff that, of course, we gain. A couple of skins, quite a cool Swamp Thing, sort of like Sentinel skin, a really cool little Nessie badge, Long John Nessie and all that. It's always pretty awesome. But otherwise, that is it pretty much from me for this particular video. So thank you for taking the time to watch. I hope you enjoyed. If you did like the content, a like is always going to help me out. And if you do want to subscribe and help me towards that 100 subscribers before the end of the year, that would be truly amazing as well. But otherwise, do remember to never stop moving, never stop believing, and stay Apex. I hopefully will see you on the stream tonight. You take care. Cheers now. Bye.